Hey everybody, it's prediction time! Kurt Rodriguez here, and you're watching a simulation of the SmackDown Women's Championship Triple Threat Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match from Sunday's TLC pay-per-view featuring Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. The match, I think, should main event the show. But before we get down to this match, let's talk about the rest of the show. These are our TLC predictions for Sunday's event. 12 3-game matches. Are you kidding me with 12 matches? It's too much. Too much, I tell you. Show is probably going to run about 4.5 hours long, and it counted the fact that it's not a Big Four pay-per-view, it feels strange. It's the fact that, and I've been discussing this on Twitter over the week, these jointed shows, these double-branded shows, are forcing WWE to try and feature as much talent as possible. And what we end up is either a long, sloppy show or a short, regular show with very short matches. I wouldn't mind returning to single-branded pay-per-views once a month. Like one Raw pay-per-view in December, one SmackDown pay-per-view in February with the Rumble in between. And that gives us time for longer rivalries. But we can talk about that some other day. Let's give out the predictions for the 12 matches that are going to be taking place at WWE's TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs this Sunday. I'm going to start off with the finals of the Mix Max Challenge. I know I said that wrong. Mix Mash Challenge. There you go. It's Team Fabulous Truth, R-Truth and Carmella, taking on Team Mahalisha, Jinder Mahal, and Alicia Fox. Now, the fact that either Jinder Mahal or R-Truth will be the 30th entrants on the Royal Rumble. Oh my god, are you serious with this? You're still trying to sell 50,000 tickets for the Royal Rumble in a giant stadium, and the best idea you can come up with to sell those 50,000 tickets is, how about we advertise either R-Truth or Jinder Mahal as the number 30th entrant instead of, leaving it as a surprise for the Rumble match. This match doesn't make any sense. The Mixed Match Challenge tournament doesn't make any sense. You had AJ Styles, you had Charlotte Flair, you had Asuka, you had The Miz in it, and somehow this is the final we end up with. I'm gonna go with an obvious choice, which would be R-Truth and Carmella. A nice babyface win to pop, and this match should be on the pre-show. The fact that we have 12 matches and none of them have been announced for the pre-show yet is worrying me. I need to know that this match is gonna be on the pre-show. Up next, Ruby Riott and Natalya in a tables match. This has been a weird feud. I don't know. I don't feel like this feud has heat, I guess. It's just most of the stuff on Raw is not working with me. I'm not emotionally invested in it. I'm not saying these ladies are not giving it their best. I think this is perhaps one of the best work feuds on Raw. But it started out weird, and it could end weirdly. I think Natalya should get the babyface win, and then both of these ladies should start preparing for the Royal Rumble match next month. The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro defend their SmackDown Tag Team titles against the New Day and the Usos in a Triple Threat Tag Team match that should be a Triple Threat TLC match as a tribute to how TLC was born. Nonetheless, I think Sheamus and Cesaro may lose the titles. I don't know exactly where WWE was going with Big Show aligning himself with The Bar, and if that was a long-term plan, but obviously Big Show is not there anymore. They have cut ties with him, and I think The Bar are losing the tag team titles on Sunday. It will be very interesting to see where WWE goes, in which direction they go heading into WrestleMania, because there are a lot of tag teams on SmackDown that deserve to be featured. There are a lot of tag teams on SmackDown that haven't had a title reign, and the New Day and the Usos have been on almost every single championship match in 2018. So it would be nice to see if some other teams get a chance at the tag team titles. Not only a chance at them, but a chance at winning the tag team titles and taking the ball and running with it come 2018. My official prediction, it would be the Usos. Elias takes on Bobby Lashley in a guitar on a pole match. It's not even a guitar on a pole, because on a guitar on a pole match you would have to remove the guitar. This match is baffling. This is a ladder match with a guitar hanging off the ring. If you unhook the guitar, you can use that guitar against your opponent. Okay, so I use the guitar against my opponent. What then? Do I have to pin them? Because that will go against the very nature of a freaking ladder match. Take a look at this. We have Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. all of these matches, and the Cruiserweight Championship match, all of these matches are for titles that could have been ladder matches. All of those 4 matches that I just mentioned could have been ladder matches. Instead, for some reason, Elias's guitar is going to be hanging off the ring. And even if he unhooks it, the match continues, and we're going to be looking for a freaking pin in a ladder match. This doesn't make any sense. Lashley's going to win just to balance things out, I guess, to make you believe that Corbin's going to win later. Speaking of Corbin, Finn Balor takes on Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is going to win this one as well, in my opinion, because I feel like, they're very, very high on Drew McIntyre and not as much on Finn Balor. As much as I love him, he deserves a little bit more love from the company, but he's not going to get to my side. Buddy Murphy defends his Cruiserweight Championship against Cedric Alexander, and I'll be damned if they let Cedric Alexander take that title back. It's, for 205 Live, I guess it's about work rate, it's about character, and I think they've been telling a story in which Alexander has bettered himself, proved himself to earn a shot at the championship. Unfortunately, he still doesn't do much for me. I didn't like his title reign. I felt like he was very absent from the show, and he let people like Buddy Murphy outshine him and eventually take the title from him. This is a mandatory rematch. I understand that, but I think it should be the last time these two meet, because number one, you don't want to burn that match out, and number two, Cedric Alexander should take a break from the title scene. He's been on it for all of 2018. It's time for him to take a step back. It's time for people like Drew Gulak, Kira Tozawa, even Tony Nese to take a shot at that championship and put out more band burners from 205. Rey Mysterio takes on Randy Orton in our annual chairs match. The chairs match analogy is nonsense, isn't it? A chairs match is literally nothing. Like, my question about a chairs match would be, if I pull out another object that is not a chair, would I get disqualified because the only legal object is a chair? That's one of those puzzling things about wrestling. Nonetheless, Mysterio, Orton, both of these men you could say deserve to win a big one, because Randy Orton has had kind of a mixed year. He didn't win Hell in a Cell in October, I will say that. He won Hell in a Cell, that was September. He won Hell in a Cell in September. He wasn't at Super Showdown as far as I remember. And he lost a crown jewel to Mysterio. But Mysterio needs that big pay-per-view win as well, to kind of signify his return and don't bring him down a lot. Considering the fact that Orton had his big 2018 pay-per-view win, which was the Hell in a Cell match, I'm choosing Rey Mysterio to win this match. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin in a match that has a lot of complicated stipulations. I think this match is not going to take place. I think some shenanigans are going to happen. Corbin is going to try to win via count out, and someone's going to show up, probably Bray Wyatt, or Braun Strowman is going to show up and squash Corbin. The bottom line is, ratings are down, and I guess you could pinpoint all of this on Corbin because his story on Raw is what has been featured, and the show is so close to dipping below 2 million viewers that they are bringing in Vince McMahon on Monday to avoid dipping under 2 million viewers. So I think the spotlight is going to shift away from Corbin now that we're starting the road to WrestleMania next month. Corbin obviously was given a chance to take the ball and run with it on Monday Night Raw, and unfortunately for him, he did not perform to expectations. His performance as an authority figure has been a boring, sluggish one that's dragging the show down and is bringing the ratings to a halt. Can you blame that completely on Corbin? I wouldn't want to do that, but there have been Monday Night Raw episodes in which he's been featured for the entire first hour, and then later he's advertised for the main event. So yeah, you could put a lot of the blame on the fact that your main star right now is Baron Corbin, and you have no big baby face to take him down. Strowman is out, Reigns is out, Zayn is out, Owens is out. All these people are all credible contenders, and Rollins is busy with Ambrose. So yeah, I guess you could pinpoint some of the blame on Baron Corbin, and Sunday is the perfect moment to shift away the focus. Also, I've mentioned this, McMahon is coming on Monday for an episode of Raw, and I think he's going to do the whole shtick of firing Corbin on the spot, perhaps send him to SmackDown, which would suck. But he's going to fire Corbin, and he's going to name Alexa Bliss as a new general manager or something like that. So we'll see. The bottom line is, I don't know how, but Corbin is losing. That's my prediction for Sunday. Seth Rollins defends the Intercontinental Championship against Dean Ambrose. Dean just turned heel. He needs a little heat on his character. And Seth is going to start his road to WrestleMania next month. Probably the main event of WrestleMania, fighting for the Universal Championship to bring it back home to Monday Night Raw. So, I got Dean Ambrose taking the Intercontinental Championship as a way to cement his heel turn and make it worth it. And as a way to get that title off of Seth so he can maybe win the Rumble and challenge Lesnar for the title at WrestleMania. Fingers crossed. Ambrose in this one. Ronda Rousey defends the Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax. This match should end quickly. Nia Jax is not a great character to watch on TV. Here's another person that should not be getting a lot of focus. Rousey retains. Daniel Bryan defends the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. I don't know where AJ Styles' road to WrestleMania is going, but I feel like he's not walking in as WWE Champion for the second year in a row. Daniel Bryan is going to retain the championship on Sunday, and what I predict is going to be one hell of a match. And the main event! Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, SmackDown Women's Championship. I got a hot take for y'all. I got Asuka in this one. I got Asuka walking out with the championship. I think they're transitioning Becky into the Raw Women's Championship. She will face Ronda at WrestleMania. She will win the Royal Rumble. And in order for Becky to win the Royal Rumble, she needs to lose the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is the perfect match for her to do so because she doesn't have to be pinned. No one has to be pinned. All she has to do is get caught up in fighting Charlotte just to have Asuka sneak in and unhook that title from above the ring. Asuka versus Charlotte number 2 at WrestleMania is a big possibility, considering the fact that they protected the finish on SmackDown by going with a DQ finish. I am like 90% sure this is the way to go. Becky versus Ronda for the Raw title, Charlotte versus Asuka for the SmackDown title, with Asuka going over and retaining the championship. So Sunday, at the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view, I predict that Asuka is going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I have to commend SmackDown because they had Asuka in the doldrums for the entirety of 2018. But god damn it, they found a way to make her relevant again. They found a way to make her a killer threat. And they found a way for her to look like a legit champion. When she wins on Sunday, her image will be completely restored. And I could not be more excited for it. So those are our predictions for Sunday. Let's go over them again. I got the fabulous Drew, Dean Ambrose, Corbin is gonna lose, Ronda Rousey, Daniel Bryan, Asuka, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, The Usos, Natalya, Buddy Murphy, and Rey Mysterio. Sunday. Let's talk about Sunday because unfortunately I will not be live tweeting the event on Sunday. I'm going to be attending an indie show here in Puerto Rico that's going to feature Marty Scurll going one-on-one against Impact Wrestling's Matt Sydal. It's going to be fun. So I'm going to be a little bit busy. No live tweeting on Sunday, but there will be plenty of TLC coverage coming up here on the Wrestling Space. And of course, lots and lots of Universe Mode content as we start our road to WrestleMania with the Royal Rumble on Sunday, January 6th. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter at TWS_wrestling. You can follow this gentleman on Twitter at its_Kirby for more wrestling news and wrestling tidbits. And remember, in 2019, for wrestling, the space is the place. See you Sunday, everybody.